What if I told you that you didn't need a pile of fancy findings or specialty tools to create a beautiful handmade necklace? Today, I'm sharing a few of my favorite simple jewelry hacks that help me create unique boho designs while keeping the process easy, creative, and fun. Hello, beaders. Welcome to Beachside Bead Boutique. My name is Jerry. If you love boho jewelry, creative solutions, and thinking outside the bead box, you're in the right place. So grab your favorite beads and let's get beading. Okay, beaders, today we are creating an adjustable, multi-strand boho necklace, and I'm calling this necklace Tide-Bound Treasures. For this necklace, I'm using mostly beautiful artisan beads from the Bead Chest, the turquoise square cut shell heishi, starfish batik bone beads, red sea sediment jasper, and the white ocean seashell heishi. Everything is strung onto an adjustable leather cord, which gives it a relaxed, beachy feel while making it easy to wear at different lengths. I'll also be adding some accent beads that I picked up from Temu and from Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to use this wax Brazilian cord to string the beads on, and this is 0.5 millimeter. And I'm going to cut my cord at 36 inches. So cut 3 strands at 36 inches each. And remember, before you start stringing, to cut your wax cord at a slight angle and form your cord into a point. Because this is wax cord, it will easily form into a little needle, and that will help your beads go on easier. And before I begin, you'll notice I have a design laid out on my bead mat. I use it as a starting point to organize my ideas, but I rarely follow it exactly. You guys know, I like to string randomly. As I work with the beads, I like to make adjustments and let the design evolve naturally. So the finished piece often becomes even better than the original plan. And in this case, it really does. For the first 2 strands, I'm stringing mainly the turquoise square cut shell heishi beads. And then I'm going to add some accent of the white ocean seashell heishi and also some of the antique copper beads from my stash. And I really love these turquoise square cut shell heishi beads. The color is beautiful. As I continued stringing the beads, I didn't follow a strict pattern. Instead, I focused on balancing color, texture, and shape so the necklace would feel collected rather than perfectly matched. That's one of my favorite ways to design because every piece ends up with its own personality and story. Now for the first 2 strands that I'm stringing, I'm using the exact same beads, but not exactly laid out in the same pattern. So they're not going to be totally matchy-matchy. Now these first turquoise strands are going to measure at 11 inches long. And since I already told you the beads that I'm using, and you already know how to string beads, I'm going to go ahead and finish this strand, and I'll be right back and I'll show you what I have. Okay, first strand is done, and I absolutely love it. I love the color of these beautiful turquoise shell beads. I mean, it is so gorgeous. And I'm going to go ahead and complete the second strand. Like I said, it is pretty much the same as the first strand, using the same beads. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll be right back, and we'll continue to the next step. Okay, first 2 strands are done, and I absolutely love this. So pretty. And then I just went ahead and just kind of crossed the 2 strands together just to give it a little bit more dimension. And these beautiful turquoise shell beads immediately remind me of the ocean, while the coral colored accents brought in warm coastal sunset feelings. I wanted this necklace to look like a collection of treasures gathered during a walk along the shoreline, and indeed it does. The color is stunning. And I also went ahead and finished stringing the third strand. And for this, I used the beautiful red sea sediment jasper with the golden tones. It is so pretty. And then also I used some of the antique copper seed beads and some of the sea life beads that I had got from Temu. And those add a really pretty accent to this beautiful piece. Now at this point, I'm going to take all three strands together and I'm going to feed it through the Starfish Batik bone beads. Now, I originally was going to use the coconut shell rings, but I changed it to the starfish beads instead because it is going to be easier. And go ahead and put a bead stopper on one end of your beads because you don't want to lose anything. Now go ahead and make sure all three strands are even at the end, and if you need to cut it, go ahead and cut it just slightly. You do want to still leave a good bit of cord. Now form all your cords into one point and then feed the Starfish Batik bone bead onto your cords. And then pull your cords, all three strands, one at a time, making sure that the necklace is taut and that the bead is up against the beads, that there's no slack in between. Now I'm going to take three of my antique copper seed beads and place one seed bead on each of the three strands. Now I'm doing this for two reasons. One, it's going to add another design element to the piece. And two, it's going to stop the knot that we're going to form falling into the hole of the batik bone bead, because that is a bigger hole. Now we're going to form a knot in our cord, tying all three strands together. So I'm going to place my fingers right above that bead and then take the cord and wrap it around my fingers, pull my fingers out and pull all three cords through the hole. Make sure you have all three. And then I'm going to grab my tweezers and put it right inside that loop that we're forming and right on top of the last seed beads. And then that way your knot will land exactly where you want it. Pull your cords down, make sure it's tight, and then I'm going to separate the cords to further pull the knot down. Yes, I absolutely love the addition of the batik bone bead. I think it adds just the right amount of rustic charm and gives the necklace even more of that handcrafted artisan feel. And I'm going to go ahead and complete the other side the exact same way, and I'll come back and we will move on to the next step. Now for the next step, I'm going to take a 10mm jump ring and I'm going to add it to all three cords. And I'm going to do this on both sides. So I'm going to take that jump ring down just right above the beads and I'm going to go ahead and tie that jump ring into the loop that I'm forming. You want to make sure that it's in the knot. Take your tweezers right on top of that last knot and then pull the cord down, and then that way that knot will land on the previous knot, and separate your cords to further pull the knot down. And I know I'm saying a lot of knots, so hopefully you're following along. And of course, some of this excess cord will be used to make some chaos tassels when we're done. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same exact thing to this side here. And once everything was placed, I finished the necklace with the adjustable leather cord, and this is going to be for the back of the neck. Now I cut this cord at about 20 inches long. And like I said, this is going to be adjustable, but if you want it longer, of course, you can cut a longer piece. Now I'm going to take my cord and feed it about 1.5 inches through the jump ring on one side and bend it over the jump ring. So just like that. And then I'm going to take 3 of these beads that I had got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to use it to secure the leather cord with some of my glue. One thing I love about jewelry making is that it doesn't always have to be complicated. By using 3 beads and a little brush on glue, I'm able to secure the cords neatly without adding extra hardware, creating a clean, handcrafted finish. If you watch my channel for a while, you already know I don't believe there's only one way to make jewelry. I love experimenting, finding simple solutions, and making each piece my own. So if you're looking for perfect rules, you probably won't find them here. But if you're looking for creative ideas, you're in the right place. And no rules, just creative vibes. See, and these beads are a perfect fit. They're nice and snug on both cords. Now I'm just going to add a little brush on glue to make sure that it is secure. Now there's no need for complicated findings or hardware. But of course, if that is the route you want to go, that's perfectly fine too. I'm not knocking it, definitely not. But like I said, give creativity a try. Now I'm just going to take a little clamp to hold it right on that spot to make sure that the glue is dry and the cords are together nice and secure. And I think that looks perfect too. These beads add a nice design element to the necklace, and they actually fit the necklace perfectly. And I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing with the other side. And I did forget to tell you that the red Jasper strand measures 9 inches long. So both of the turquoise shell strands measure 11 inches, and the red Jasper strand measures 9 inches. Now the necklace is looking really good. And we're going to go ahead and cut the little strands on the side. So just a little excess cord. Just cut that on both sides. Yes, and I really, really love it. Now we're going to go ahead and line the necklace up. Make sure you find the center, because then we're going to cut the leather cord right in the center at the top. Instead of using a traditional clasp, I'm creating a simple adjustable closure using 2 of those wood beads, the same that we used on the side. Each bead is attached to one cord while the opposite cord slides through it. A knot at the end keeps everything secure, creating an adjustable closure that's both practical and easy to make. It's another example of how you don't always need complicated findings to create jewelry that works beautifully. If there's one thing I hope you take away from my channel, it's that creativity doesn't come with a rule book. Learn the basics, experiment with new ideas, and don't be afraid to find your own way of creating. Remember, there's no wrong way. And now you have a perfect and easy adjustable cord. To finish things off, I'm using the extra cord to create one of my signature chaos tassels on one side. And to create the tassel, I'm using these cream color seed beads that I picked up from Hobby Lobby, and then also some of the beads that I had incorporated into the necklace. And this is just going to be a random string, so no particular pattern. And this chaos tassel, as I call it, is just going to add another design element to the necklace. I often add it to my pieces along with my chaos clusters because, you know, I do like a lot of extra movement. And when you feel your chaos tassel is long enough, you're just going to go ahead and tie the end up with a couple of knots. And now that the first one is complete, I'm going to go ahead and complete the other two strands on that same side, and I'll be right back. And now the chaos tassel is complete on this side, and I really love that extra detail and the added movement. And now I'm just going to take my brush on glue and brush it on all the knots to make sure that everything is secure. And of course, you don't need to see all that, so I'm going to do that off camera and be right back. And now I'm just going to go ahead and cut the excess cord and take my tweezers to separate the fibers on all the cords to give it a frayed look. Yes, I really love that extra detail. I originally planned to add a matching tassel to the other side, but I decided a beautiful turquoise pendant would create a more interesting asymmetrical balance. And I really love these pendants from the Bead Chest. So I decided to just go ahead and cut the remaining cord off and give it that frayed look as well. Now I'm just going to take a jump ring and add it to my pendant and add it to this side. And this is how you open and close a jump ring. You just want to go up and down. So I'm going to add it to the jump ring that's attached to the necklace and then attach the little pendant. And close that up, making sure that it is secure. While every detail is intentionally asymmetrical, each element has been thoughtfully placed, creating a design that feels effortlessly balanced and uniquely one of a kind. And I absolutely love it. Okay, beaders, well, here is the completed Tidebound Treasures boho necklace, and I absolutely love it. I love the beautiful turquoise shell beads with the beautiful Red Sea sediment beads, and of course, the fun chaos tassel and the adjustable leather cord and all the fun details that make it uniquely your own. If you enjoyed today's tutorial and picked up a few new ideas along the way, I'd love if you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and let me know in the comments what simple technique or jewelry hack was your favorite. And remember, let's keep it messy, let's keep it boho, and as always, let's keep beading. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.